Phonics Lesson 17. In this week's phonics lesson, we will be learning the letters A, I, M, P, R, and S. So let's begin. Our first section is name the letters and their sounds. This is the letter A. A makes the A sound. Can you make the A sound for me? Now remember, if you're nonverbal, try your best and say the letter and its sound in your head. Our next letter is letter I. Letter I makes the I sound. I. Can you practice making the I sound? Our next letter is letter M. M makes the sound. Can you make the sound with me? This is the letter P. P makes the P sound. Can you make the P sound with me? P. Our next letter is letter R. R makes the sound. Can you make the sound with me? And the last letter we are learning this week is the letter S. S makes the S sound. Can you make the S sound with me? S. Now our next section is making words. We will make words using the letters that we just went over. Our first word has 2 letters. Our first letter makes the sound I. Which letter below makes the sound I? Point to it or say that letter out loud. I. If you chose letter I, you are correct. Letter I is our first letter in our word. Our second letter makes the S sound. Which letter below makes the S sound? If you chose letter S, you are correct. Letter S is our second letter in our word. Our word is IS. IS spells is. Is. Our next word has 3 letters in it. Our first letter is Which letter below makes the sound? Say that letter out loud or point to it on your screen. If you chose letter R, you are correct. Letter R is our first letter of our word. Our second letter is I. Which letter below makes the I sound? I. If you chose letter I, you're correct. Letter I is our second letter. I makes the I sound. Our last letter, the third letter of our word, makes the P sound. Can you find the letter below that makes the P sound? If you picked the letter P, you are correct. Letter P makes the P sound, and it is the last letter in our word. Our word is spelled R-I-P. R-I-P spells rip. Rip. Now, here's our next word. Our next word has 4 letters. 1, 2, 3, 4. Our first letter starts with Which letter makes the sound? Point to this letter or say the letter out loud. If you chose letter R, you chose correctly. Letter R is the first letter of our word. Our next letter makes the I sound. Point to the letter or say that letter out loud that makes the I sound. If you chose letter I, you're correct. Letter I is the second letter of our word. The third letter of our word makes the sound. Which letter below makes the sound? If you chose letter M, you're correct. Letter M makes the sound. Letter M is our third letter. Our last letter makes the S sound. Which letter makes the S sound? If you chose letter S, you are correct. Letter S is the last letter of our 4-letter word. R, I, M, and S spell rims. Rims. Very good. Our next section is word sort. I want you to count with me the number of letters in each word. We will identify the word and then we will circle the number of letters. Our first word is. It is spelled I-S. It has 1, 2 letters. Is has 2 letters. So we're going to circle the number 2. Very good. Our next word also begins with A, but also ends with S. Our word is as. As. Let's count the letters. 1, 2. As has 2 letters in it. Very good. Our third word on this page is am. Am. A-M spells am. How many letters are in the word am? Let's count. 1, 2. There are 2 letters in the word am. If you're looking at your screen, we have 1, 2, 3 words, and they all have 2 letters in them. Very good. Now, we're going to do the same thing, but our words have gotten a little bit longer. Let's begin. Our first word is ram. Ram. R-A-M spells ram. Let's count. 1, 2, 3. There are 3 letters in the word ram. Very good. Our next word is wrap. R-A-P spells wrap. Let's count. 1, 2, 3. There are 3 letters in the word wrap. Very good. Our third word on this page is sap. S-A-P. Sap has how many letters? Let's count. 1, 2, 3. The word sap also has 3 letters. Each word on our page has 3 letters inside them. Now, I want you to point or circle on the screen or even say the word that ends with IP. Our first word is wag, wag. Do you see an IP at the end of wag? No, I don't either. Let's look at our second word, rip, R-I-P. Do you see an I and a P in the word rip? Yes, I do too. So the word that we should circle is rip, R-I-P. Very good. We have two new words, but I still want you to find the word that ends with IP. We have sip and we have if. Which word ends with IP? Point to that word for me or say it out loud. Our first word is sip or our second word is if. Which word do you see that ends with IP? You're right. Sip ends with IP. I see the I and the P at the end. Very good. Our last section is transfer words. In this section, I want you to find the letter that each word begins with. That means what letter is at the very beginning, the first letter that you see in each word. Our word above is mouth. Mouth. Which letter do you see at the beginning of the word mouth? Do you see an L? Do you see an M? Or do you see an N? Point to that letter or say that letter out loud. Very good. If you chose the letter M, you chose correctly. The last word is save. Save. Which letter below is the first letter, the beginning letter of the word save? You can also listen to it carefully. It makes the S sound. Which letter makes the S sound? You can point to this letter or say the letter out loud. If you chose letter S, you are correct. Great job. And that is the end of this week's phonics lesson, learning the letters A, I, M, P, R, and S. Great job.